We're about to do a live called The Truth About God. And we are going to talk about how God really works. Truth about God. All right. Let's actually talk about it. Let's actually talk about it. There we go. Let's talk about the truth about God. Let's talk about the truths about God. When I say truths about God, it's two types of people. You got the person who has never experienced this before, and you have the person who is their only experience. The only thing they experience is God in their life. The other person has never experienced God. They don't believe in God. That's the two types of people. So you come on this earth and all you know is God. You're a little bit different than the other kids, it seems like. People who've never known about God, very logical, never been introduced to the world at all. Neither scenario matters when you're working with God. God chooses whomever he wants to wake up to the truth. God will wake up whoever he wants to and whoever is ready at that time for the truth. The truth. It's not a dualistic truth. It is a singular experiential truth. And the truth is, God and I am are both one. That's the experience. That's the experience. So, if you were in the church, here's the thing about church, okay? If you were in the church and then you left the church, you experience the fact that there's not anything like the church experience. Church is very different. Christianity is very different feeling than any other feeling religion. They're different than any other religion, and you can feel that. You can tell the difference. When you leave church because of the fallacies, because of something that happened to you in the church, because of them not really telling you the full truth, you seeing holes in the logic. When you leave church because of those reasons, you know that there were beautiful, incredible, insightful aspects to God that you learned in church. And it was a certain experience of believing in the same exact God that is a savior with others. There's a current experience of that you can connect to and tap into. That is Christianity at its core. Complete devotion to the identity of good that goes beyond our current understanding. We believe in a good that goes beyond our current understanding. We believe it so much so because we know it. We are the living, breathing experience of it. That is the truth of the sons, us, of God. The I who you are, and the Father, which is the one, is really one. It's not two. So there's no two individuals. There's no two beings. There's not a God and then an us. It only is one God that is unified with everything there is, including us. Look, the Bible explains this by saying, I and my Father are one, but the Father is greater than I. It has those words in the mouth of Christ, right? Well, when you say those words and mean them because they just come out from a realization, then you are Christ. Is that making sense? You are Christ at that point. You've always been Christ. That's the thing. You didn't know you were Christ, but you have always been Christ. Even if you didn't know it, you and the Father are one, but the Father is greater than you in a sense that the Father is all there is. You are all there is in expression. So expression is limited. Even infinite expression takes time to unfold. Look at the universe. Even infinite expression takes time to expand. Look at the universe. The universe is currently expanded. It's infinite. Okay, so the universe is expanding currently. It will always expand to the end of time, which that doesn't end either. So we're talking about an infinite experience, but it's limited. It's limited within laws. It's actually limited within laws. This physical universe operates under a restrictive law. That's the reason you can know the landing of the spaceship on the moon within a fraction of a second. That's the reason why you know everything down to a numerical detail in this universe. Because everything's restricted by a law. That is restriction. So we're talking the whole universe, as infinite as it is restricted by law alone. But is law visible? You can't see law. Law is invisible. It's untouchable because it is oneness. It's all in essence in oneness. So it can't be touched or tampered with. So we're talking about a universe that is bound. It's infinite and it's bound by law. And it's one of them is the law of growth. It has to forever be expanding. That's a forever thing. It's going, but its form currently is limited. It will always be limited in comparison to infinity. But it has an infinite nature. That's the reason it will always grow infinitely. But it isn't infinite now. It's restricted by law. Law itself restriction. Let me give you an example. Law of attraction. Law of magnetism. Likeness attracts likes on two ends of the pole. Complements attract to each other. Harmonious complements attract to each other. So if you're a complement to negativity, you'll attract it. If you're a complement to the positivity, you'll attract it. If you're a complement to God's stuff, you'll attract it. That's a law. Even chemicals attract to each other and will separate from current bonds and merge with other bonds according to its affinity, meaning attraction. So this is scientific. So with that being said, that law, everything is under the restriction of that law. There is no vibration that can be let off and it not automatically right now be attracting itself to it. It's impossible. It's restricted under that law. It must be doing it. It doesn't have a choice because it's restricted under law, the whole cosmos. But guess what is not restricted under law? God, because God is law. So God being unified and one as law can't be restricted. It is law. So what you start noticing is what the Bible is talking about when it talks about law. You are either talking about an infinite law or you are talking about a restrictive law. The law of one is God. God reigns supreme and is restricted under no law. The second kind of law is the laws of nature. What you'll notice about the laws of nature, though, is if you find a higher law, you can temporarily suspend the lower law. Let me give you an example. The gravity will bring all heavy things down to earth, right? Well, not when the law of lift is applied, because when the law of lift is applied, a plane flies in the air and it's tons and tons of weight up there. So it's not exactly a law. There are always greater laws that help you not break, but just supersede the lower ones. It suspends them. It puts them under suspension. The law of attraction puts every other law under suspension. That's the reason why you can attract anything miraculously, and it makes no sense to doctors, and it can't scientifically be understood because law of attraction suspended the physical laws and brought health to that body. That's why it got healed in a way no one could understand or even prove with science, because law of attraction suspended the sickness of the body because the person believed he was healthy. This is what the law is doing. Now, is that to say that lower laws don't exist? The lower law does exist. If you need medicines to believe you can be healed, then you actually have to take medicine to be healed. So take your medicine. Nobody's telling you to stop taking medicine. I won't tell you to stop taking medicine. I'm going to tell you that there is a medicine that is a law of the universe that will suspend the sickness in your body and bring health to it. I'm saying that there's a greater law that will do that. That's all I'm saying. So what is it? How do you do it? You have to be it. You can't do it. What does that mean? Here's what it really means. You need to dwell in God as far as you can understand. Constantly, as long as you can, always. That's what I'm learning. I'm learning that for myself. I can't tell you what to do. I'm saying these are laws, not my opinions. And when you actually do them or practice them or put them into action, you're going to notice it too. You will notice you feel something first. When you dwell in God, you're at the highest vibration you can understand. You have to dwell in God deeply, as deep as you can. Because when you dwell in God deeply, you're dwelling in the deepest good you can comprehend. Now, what does that do? That makes you vibrate by law of vibration. Everything vibrates by law of vibration. Everything is restricted under the law of vibration. There is nothing in existence that is not currently vibrating. It's restricted under that law. Everything is. So if anything exists, it is now vibrating. And it vibrates a frequency. So under the law of attraction, which is, it suspends physical laws. And the law of vibration, you can vibrate a signal, and law of attraction will bring all the health and whatever conditions match the frequency to you, suspending your physical sickness. It takes it away. You have replaced it with another vibration that is incompatible with sickness. This is how it works. It will suspend your disease. Because we just saw how law of lift suspended the law of gravity. What we're saying is the law of attraction and vibration suspends, really it's a vibration of faith, meaning I already am it. You're vibrating the actual signal of being the person who has it or being the person who is it. You're actually that person. That's the core vibration. And law of attraction responds to that by bringing everything that belongs to this type of person to it, suspending all of the negative bank balances and all of the negative relationships that were a part of the old person's life. They die to a higher law. That person is now suspended from life. He can't come back. She can't come back. It's been replaced with higher vibration. That's the way it works. It's restricted under that law. This is God himself. It looks like a person is doing it. God is literally just law, but we are also law. That's the reason we recognize God's movements. So when we see God do something, meaning we are dwelling in God, and then our sickness goes away, we go, I know exactly what just happened. I know exactly what just happened. God just did that for me on my behalf. I know it. And then other people might disagree with you, but you know it. That's the difference. You now know it. Nobody can tell you differently because you know it. It's just a direct experience. Now, later on, some people go back and talk to their friends about it who don't understand laws that suspend lower laws. This is natural, by the way. It's not anything crazy about a law suspending a lower one. Higher law always suspends lower ones. So that's not far-fetched. That's something very much within our understanding. We know higher laws suspend lower ones. Law of lift takes a plane up when it's supposed to be coming down. But this law is supersedes this one. We know that's true. When you look at your life, law of attraction brings in anything that you vibrate, meaning who you are. The law of mind. Let's talk about that. God is always giving you things through his son, which is really consciousness. The son that's mentioned in the Bible, Jesus in the Bible, is really consciousness. That is what Jesus Christ is. The savior from your circumstances is Jesus Christ, or consciousness. That's the savior to your circumstances. Now, it's only consciousness that comes from God. That's why it's called a son. So God's mind is your current problem's solution. God's mind is your current problem's solution, or your current problem's enemy, your current problem's death, your current problem's end. The mind of God is your current problem's end. It's the death of your problems. How is that true? How are you saying that? When you are in God, you are only in good. That's the only thing that exists. Remember, it's only levels of good. You have lower levels of allowing good, which is just existing. That doesn't feel that good, but it is good because you're at least alive. So that's the very rudiment of good. We all have that. Up here is total bliss. It's a range between here and here. Remember, levels of good. So this is really all good. Remember that. Now, how much of the good are you allowing is dependent on you and how close you're dwelling with the one inside. The deeper you penetrate inside, the deeper you penetrate to the source, or the better good, the greater good. Is all of this making sense? So Jesus Christ is consciousness. That's not a person. It's consciousness itself. Rose from the dead. What does that mean? You thought you were your body. Anybody who's had an awakening experience is going to also attest to this. You came out of your body, didn't you? Anybody who has not had the experience now thinks I'm crazy and they're clicking off. Everybody who has had the experience, they go, yeah, I came out of my body, yeah. I was everything. People who have had the experience are saying that. The people who've never had the experience is like, I think he's crazy. You have to think I'm crazy if you've never experienced it. You actually have to. If you are not thinking I'm crazy, you've never experienced it, maybe you got an intuition about it. But if you are new to this, and you hear a dude say that, you should be aware. You should be. You should be on alert. I don't know if this guy, what did he just say? He came out of his body. You should actually be thinking like that, like, he came out of his body. All right, I'm not going to deny it, but explain what you mean. because I'm not just going to believe that. That's how you should feel. Now, if you got an intuition about it or you have had the experience, now you're like, yeah, that was the most blissful state I've ever been in. Look at people who have near-death experiences. They all say that. Oh, I was out of my body. It was beautiful. It's not restricted to near-death experiences. It's a phenomena that's happening, yes. But if it's happening in a near-death experience, it can happen right now. Why wait till I'm near death? Why not have the experience right now? That's the question. Go ahead and have the experience. Go into tears of ecstasy. Okay? It takes time. You may be at the rudiment of good where you just exist. Good, at least you exist. You might be pissed off when I say that too, because I'm too positive when I say that. Because I would be mad, low key. But he just acted like this is so easy. It's actually not easy to come out of a dog spot. It's not easy to come out of a dog spot, a bad spot. It's like you have no hope. I literally just felt like this. I felt like I had no hope left. That's why y'all ain't seen me posting. That's why y'all ain't seen me making videos. Is because I've been in a bad place for myself. But I realized it wasn't bad. I was evolving and growing and changing. And you can't do that in front of a camera. You actually have to go become a caterpillar and have your shell cracked open. And then you have to first stay in a cocoon. After you stay in a cocoon a while, then you can undergo a transformation. Transformation happens in a cocoon. Whatever your version of a cocoon it still happens in a cocoon. That means within yourself. I realize I've been going within myself a lot more. Why? Because of the pain. I got to go examine. If you got a broken bone, I need to get this examined. I was feeling broken, like a broken bone was in my heart. Got to get this examined. Didn't know. I'm going from solar plexus to heart chakra. I didn't know that till today, about a couple hours ago. I didn't know that till just a couple hours ago while I was walking. This is in real time happening. I'm going from solar plexus, accomplishing, succeed, make business, make the business deals, connect people, boom, boom, hit it. Solar plexus, that's solar plexus. That's the space of solar plexus. When I first entered that experience, y'all, I was 22 years old. It felt so good. It felt like I was on fire in life. I was on fire in life. Here's what I realized happened. After I had all of the money that I wanted, I was married to a person that at that time it was perfect a match for. I had my house. I had my brothers coming over and working with me. I'm teaching my family financial literacy. I'm leading the way. I'm in the front. I'm the head. I've done better than anybody in the family up until this point. Everybody's following me. They're looking at me as if I'm the leader now because I am. I'm on YouTube. I got videos. I'm hiring people. I'm budgeting. I'm changing people's lives. I'm getting people their first cars, getting debts paid off. I'm at the top of the world. You got to understand, I'm at the top of the world at this point. At the top of the world. I'm number one literally in the country at 600 offices. I'm the best in the whole country at this point. When I tell you, I go into the bookstore, I only go to the business section. I don't go to any other section. I go to the business section. This day, I go to the transformational section. If you ever been to Barnes & Nobles, you know what I'm talking about. The transformational section. Like, what is... I didn't even ask the question. I'm just wandering over there. I pick up this deck of cards. It's called Mandala. Mandala. I don't know what the word mandala means at this point. But I opened the deck and it's circles. I realized it's circles. Still didn't connect the dots. But I buy this pack of cards. I never buy packs of cards. This has nothing to do with my business. This will make me no more money. But I pick up the pack of cards. I walk over to the audio section because at the time, See, if you are not 10 years old, if you are not 30, you may not understand this. But I go to get a CD. Okay, have you ever heard of a CD? I got a CD. I put the CD because it was a pack of them for Eckhart Tolle. I don't know this man's, I do not know him. I do not know Eckhart Tolle. I have no idea who this man is. Literally no idea. He don't look like me. He don't look like a person that I'll even really understand him if I was to meet him on the front cover. But I get this audio, this orange audio box. And I put Power Now Author. And I put this CD in my Nissan, or not the Nissan, the Milan, out in Carmel, Indiana. Because I had a business in Kokomo, Indiana. Anybody from Indiana know I'm telling the truth on this. I'm in Carmel, Indiana at the Best Buy. It's right by the Best Buy, the Barnes & Nobles. Anybody from Carmel, Indiana, maybe it's still there. It's a nice mall right down the street. I get in there, and I come out with a box that says New Earth. I put the first CD in. The first flower on the planet opened up thousands of years ago. I was like, I'm in. Hey, my ex-wife, she hated it. She was like, I hate this dude's voice. That's all she could say. I just kept playing every CD. I just kept playing it. I'm driving in the car. All I'm hearing is Eckhart Tolle. I don't even know why I'm listening to this man. But he talk about be here now. I didn't even realize I was never here now. Never realized it. And then I'm over here being here, realizing my ego. I didn't even know what an ego was. Now I see it all the time. I'm doing it all the time. It's always active. I'm over here in pain. I'm over here in my mind. I had 6 months of doing this. I didn't mean to do it 6 months. I'm telling you, my only thing I listened to was him. And the only thing I did was come back to the moment. I didn't practice anything else. Guess what, y'all? Boom, awakening. I'm running my dog. Boom, my chakra blow open. First of all, I'm running and then my thoughts stop. Have you ever had all your thoughts stop? They all stopped. I've never had this happen before. I'm always thinking. But I didn't realize I was always thinking until they just stopped. I'm looking at the tree and no tree word came in my mind. Green didn't come on my mind. Bark didn't come on my mind. Sky didn't come in my mind. Breeze didn't come in my mind. I'm experiencing all of these though. No thoughts. Boom. I leave my body. I leave my body at the top of my head. I become the grass. I felt the wind on me. I became the butterfly. From the butterfly's perspective, I felt my wings flapping. I became the boy across the pond and saw through his physical eyes. I said, who is this that can be everybody? In bliss, tears going down my face. Who am I? Who is this that can be everything? I am. Boom. Blissed out. I disappeared. 45 minutes later, I wake up. I see my body, by the way, during this picture. 45 minutes later, I'm picking my head up off the ground from crying bliss tears. My body is buzzing. I go back in the house. I can't, nothing was, what am I supposed to say? You can't even explain that and make it make sense to anybody. You have to experience that. There's nothing I'm going to say to communicate that to you. Nothing. But from that day, I knew that the Bible wasn't what I thought it was. God was me the whole time. I was looking outside for it, and it was me. I'm not even a me. Everything's changed. Now, if you've never had this experience, I'm currently sounding a little bit crazy. If you have an intuition on this, you're listening, and you know when this is true. And if you had the experience, you'd be in the chat like, yep. Because it's the exact same experience. You had it differently, but you know the bliss I'm talking about. That, my friends, is God. God, I am. That's it. Now, experience the light that you feel in your soul right now, going like this. Just feel into your chest and core right now and feel if it's not vibrating. Feel really quickly to see if it's not vibrating right now. A little buzz, a vibration going through you. Can you feel that? Can you feel lighter? Can you feel a little twinkle? Can you feel a little more clarity? That is what we're talking about. It's God. When more of us is torn away, more of the God can shine through. All we're doing is tearing away. We're never adding to. It's not necessary. Because we're all there is. For people who have been to church, left the church, had this experience, listen, people in church need us. There are people in church right now who are literally being deceived by some of the people leading. There are good leaders out there in churches still that are open-minded. What I'm encouraging us do, and I'm doing this, I'm reaching out. I'm asking you to do this. If you want to, if you feel called to, if you feel pulled to. Talk to pastors about sharing this experience with their congregation. Because some pastors have experienced this, but they won't talk about it. Some pastors have had this experience, they won't talk about it. A lot of them have never had the experience. They still don't know it. Because the only way you know it is if you get chosen. You just get chosen one day. Everybody's chosen, but the timing is whatever day it happens. You can't control it. It's not something that we can control, the timing. You can control how much time you spend in the light, in the oneness. How y'all doing, y'all? Welcome in, welcome in. My phone is about to die. Just letting y'all know. Thank y'all for being here. I appreciate everybody being here. I appreciate you following your gut to come in here. I appreciate you following the spirit to come in here. This is only going to be spirit from here at this point going forward. I'm just going to be real with y'all. There's really nothing else to be said. There's nothing else to be talked about, in my opinion. I don't have anything else for you. Because here's the deal. I'm in a situation right here where only thing you got is the divine. And the divine is what you want. You in training camp. Everything you experiencing, you in training camp. You in faith training camp. Yep. Black holes turn to shining diamonds sometimes. That's the truth. Look, the truth is, that's true. And the process of it is very much different than the knowing of it. Okay? Process is what I encourage. This is what I mean by process. The process of relinquishing the power that the world has on you by replacing it with a devotion to the good that goes beyond. That is the way out of the slavery that is the physical universe. That's the way out of the slavery that is the physical universe. You committing to the one, the divine one, over all things. You can't make this happen either. It happens organically. Okay? So the way that it happens is, it happens in stages and levels. That's how it happens. So you will get experiences that nudge you, and this is happening every second, by the way, that will nudge you in a direction. You may not exactly know what that direction is, most likely you won't. But if you do go in the direction of whatever is nudging you, you will find that there's a surprise there. That surprise is going to give you something you didn't have before, a perspective, an attitude, a change. And that is going to send you on a trajectory to another consequential moment and another one and another one. And this chain reaction of very small, seemingly small events will create this chain that links the thing that you've been vibrating and that is for you into your hands. The magic you're looking for is in the work you're not doing. I think that's cliche. I don't think that's pretty cliche. And it's just a thought. You got to actually think about that one. What does that really mean? The magic you're looking for is in the work you're not doing. Who's working? That's ego. We just need to feel important. There is no magic. There is only God. And God is law-based and very systematic. So truthfully, there is no magic. There is just laws that you are using to temporarily suspend lower laws to make it look like it's magic. But it's really the law of attraction. It's the law of attraction acting on your vibration you're creating, that you're putting out. That's what's happening at all times. And this is an important part about the Bible. The Bible never attributes any phenomena to the work of human beings. Nothing good. All the work of human beings is looked at as lackluster, less than the dust of the earth, built on straw. Why? Because it's not mental. Mental is first, physical is second. So being built on the physical first, or on the mental first, you have to have a conception first. Next, you have a physical action. But first, you have a conception. It's a thought. It's a concept. Picture you see. That creates what we call work if it's focused into existence long enough and it has a potent enough vibration. Then it starts to come into existence is what happens. Because why? Because the imprint that's being made on the ether is vibrant and strong, which causes the law of growth to pick it up and carry it to its external conclusion in a more quickened way, although still stage by stage and naturally. Law of attraction temporarily suspends the capabilities of the physical universe, makes them more capable, so that this vibration can get to this person. So this thing, this healing can get to this person's body. So the healing is literally getting snatched out of the universal ether into your body, attracting all of the right circumstances in your blood, in your levels, for healing and full restoration to happen. And this is what's happening constantly. So when you dwell in God, you dwell in the highest vibration. All the good will come to you. because all you're vibrating is good. And your physical body's bound under a law of attraction and a law of vibration that brings likeness to like. And mentalism, the law of mentalism says you are vibrating what your mind is. What are you thinking? Well, you know what you've been thinking. And it's vibrating high. So you're thinking and it's vibrating high at the same time. That means it has to be yours, whatever circumstance matches that. Look, we're going to come on here more often. I love y'all. If y'all like this, subscribe. We're going to be coming on here often. We'll follow YouTube. That's probably the best place to follow or the best place to see the highest, best content. Love y'all. Bye, YouTube.